So if you've made it this far of me ranting, maybe this kind of made you think a little bit, and maybe this is a way that you too could save over $1,000 a month. What you are looking at here is my 2004 Lincoln Town Car Ultimate that I purchased back in September of last year for $10,500. I bought this vehicle in cash. I paid outright for it through a private party. I met the guy on Facebook Marketplace, met up with him with the cash. I gave him the cash, he gave me the car and the title, and that was it. I don't owe any money on this vehicle. The only thing I'm paying for is insurance and gas every month. And then obviously if any maintenance issues come up, I gotta pay for that too, but nothing has happened, so we're just gonna knock on wood real quick. Now, I have been driving this grandpa car around. I guess I didn't realize at first how much I was really paying for my old vehicle that I owned, which was a 2014 Ford Raptor. Now, to be completely transparent with you guys, I spent about $40,000 on that Ford Raptor, and my monthly payment on that vehicle was $720 a month. But really quick, let's go back to the Lincoln. Let's just break down like my monthly finances on this vehicle. For full coverage insurance for me, I'm spending about $200 a month. And for gas every week on Friday, I usually fill up, and that costs me about, let's just say, $40 to fill up. And let's say there's 4 Fridays in a month, that's gonna come out to an additional $160 a month for gas. So we have the insurance at $200, we got the gas for the month, comes in about $160. Together, I am spending about $360 to operate this Lincoln Town Car every month. And as long as nothing breaks on this thing, which it hasn't, so we've been good, $360 is my total cost. Now, I saw an article that was recently released by LendingTree, and it was giving kind of information about Americans and how much we're spending on vehicles and this, that, and the other, and it kind of grabbed my attention very quickly due to the numbers. Now, this article stated that at the last quarter, I think it was, of 2023, the average car payment in America was about $726. Now, going back to that Ford Raptor that I had that I was telling you about, my car payment on that vehicle was $720, so I was pretty close to that average. It also stated that the average price of a vehicle that Americans bought was about $40,000. And once again, going back to the Raptor, that was also what I paid for the Raptor, that 2014 Raptor. I think it was like 38 or 40, I can't remember. So right away, I kind of like resonated with this article because I was like, oh wow, like I literally was paying just about that. That's kind of crazy. And I started reading more into this and kind of the facts that are thrown in there, and it's actually kind of wild to me. They threw in a number about $1.6 trillion is what Americans currently owe, and that they have tied up in auto loans. Another big thing that caught my attention was that in America, auto loans is like the 3rd largest debt that we have, but it's like neck and neck basically with student loans, and then that stuff is behind mortgages. So they always say that a home is going to be like the biggest purchase you ever make in your life. So that's like kind of understood. But we're basically, with auto loans and student loans in America, at least, we're basically like neck and neck. So I was like kind of reading the article, and I was thinking to myself like, wow, yeah, I was in that situation, and I've owned this 20-year-old grandpa Lincoln Town Car since September, so I haven't been paying a car note since September. And then it started like really to hit me. Now, I wasn't struggling to pay my truck at all. Like, I had it for a year, I was making the payments. It wasn't like I was like looking at my bank account like, ooh, I got that payment coming up, I can't eat. It wasn't anything crazy like that. But I guess I just didn't realize how much money I was putting towards that truck when I could have been just driving something else that was gonna save me over literally $1,000. Because let's break it down for the Raptor now. The Raptor payment was $720 a month. The insurance on that was actually about the same as what I'm paying now in the Lincoln Town Car, so we'll call it $200. Now right there, I'm at $920 just for insurance and for the truck payment. And remember, before you sit there and you're like, well, yeah, you bought this big, goofy monster truck, of course it's going to be expensive. My payment was like $6 off of what the average monthly car note is for Americans today. So it wasn't like I was buying this vehicle that was like crazy, crazy expensive. Like, there are plenty of people that are paying this payment every month, if not more. So just keep that in mind. So for the payment and the insurance on the truck, we had $920, and then gas on the thing. Obviously, this thing was a big V8, huge truck, big tires. It wasn't getting the best gas mileage. I think I was averaging at my best maybe 12 or 13 miles per gallon. And this thing, on the other hand, instead of the $40 I'm paying for the Lincoln Town Car to fill up, it costs me $80 every Friday to fill up. So $80 every Friday to fill this baby up. Say there's 4 Fridays in a month. That's coming out to $320. Sorry, I had to think for a second. Math was never my strong suit, okay? So just be glad I think I got that right. So if we take that $320 a month that we're spending in gas, as well as that insurance and that car payment, which was the $920, combine those for a monthly payment altogether of $1,240, $1,240. Yeah, that should be right. And then what I say I was paying for the Lincoln monthly? $360, right? I think it was $360. So we got $1,240 to own this big truck, and then we got $360 to own the old man Lincoln Town Car. So that's a pretty substantial difference. And the point I'm trying to make is, I guess I didn't realize how much money I was actually spending on something that was just going to be taking me to work and then sitting in the parking lot. And I was just paying like this kind of like to me, that's a lot of money. You know, I mean, I got a good job. I'm a union truck driver and I make a good living, but still, like when I look at that figure of paying over $1,000 a month for a vehicle, it's kind of crazy. And I know to a lot of people, like they're spending over $1,000 a month just for their car payment. That doesn't even include gas or insurance, right? So there's definitely bigger things going on besides me and this average group of people at $720 a month. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to give you guys a finance lesson. This isn't what this channel is about at all, but I do car content on here, and lately in the media and everything like that, a big topic has been, you know, the prices of new vehicles, the prices of used vehicles, the interest rates, etc. And it's just been kind of crazy. I mean, now that I've owned the Lincoln Town Car for like, you know, a couple months, 3-4 months, whatever it's been, it's like I'm really starting to see now, like if I go to check my bank account, I'm like, oh wow, like I'm not getting $700+ just taken out of my account. That's just staying in my pocket now. Like I have that as spending money, or if I want to invest it in stocks or whatever I want to do, like that is my money to keep. It's just cash in my pocket. And don't get me wrong, like everybody's situation different. I work 20 minutes away from my house. This vehicle, I did my research on it, this Lincoln Town Car, and luckily for me, it's super reliable car and I haven't had any issues, and I've only owned it for a little bit amount of time. But you gotta think of it like this too. Let's say something went out on that car tomorrow and it cost me $1,000 to fix. Well, $1,000, I mean, I was just spending that for my truck payment and to keep the thing filled up every week. You know what I mean? I was spending over that a month between fuel and the truck payment to keep that thing running. You know what I mean? So it's like, I know people always throw the argument out of like, well, I want to buy a new car because I don't want to buy something used that's going to break down and then I have to keep, you know, feeding money into it to fix it. And then people also use the other argument of like, I need something newer, I need something bigger because I have kids and I can't afford to be stranded, or I drive 50 miles to and from work every day, so I need something that gets good gas mileage. And I get it, like those are all great points, right? But I don't know, I guess when I really sat back and like looked at that statistic and was reading those facts in that Lending Tree article, and then like I looked at the big picture and was like, wait, that was me. Like I was paying that kind of money every month and I'm not anymore. It really kind of like woke me up a little bit, made me realize. And don't get me wrong, like I love cars. I have a sick habit of buying cars, selling them, getting new ones, trading them, and doing all this crazy stuff. And there will be a time again where I buy something and I'm paying a monthly payment. I don't know how much money it's gonna be, but it will happen again, just because that's the type of person I am. Like I love cars and it is what it is. But for now, I'm enjoying driving this old man car. It's not the prettiest looking thing maybe, and it's definitely not the fastest, and it might not have a big crazy touchscreen in the middle with Apple CarPlay or a backup camera. And yes, I'm still one of those people that's using one of those little Bluetooth transmitter things that you find the frequency so you can play music off your phone. Like, yeah, it's not up to date. It doesn't have all the newest features, and it's like kind of grandpa car or whatever. But for what I'm using it for and what I do, like, I like it. And I also really like the fact of having that extra money in my pocket every month. For now, like I said, I get kind of crazy and like, Dodge Durango 392 looks like really, really good, right? And I'm not trying to like tell you guys what to do with your money or how to live your life or by any means like that. But I just wanted to share my eye-opening experience I've had with it, because I feel like if that's the average and we are spending all this kind of money on auto loans, I feel like maybe there is a lot of people out there that are kind of spending or maybe bit off a little bit more they could chew with something as simple as a car. And now instead of being able to enjoy their life by maybe taking vacations or just like having less anxiety because they got some money in their pocket and they don't feel like they're all spent and tapped out on their money, on their bills and everything, maybe this video will help. You know, maybe this video will wake someone up and they'll be like, oh, you know what? I don't really need this car at the end of the day. Like, I'm going to downsize for a year or two, save up some money so I could buy a house that I've always wanted to buy, or like whatever the case may be. I don't know. You guys know I'm always coming out here and just talking to you guys because I like to give my opinion on things. I like to read your guys' comments. So while I'm on that topic, drop a comment. What are you buying? What are you driving nowadays? Are you paying an insane amount of money monthly for a car? Where are you at with how much do you think is a good amount to spend on a monthly payment? There are some people out there that'll say the amount of money I think is a good amount to spend on a car note is $0. I don't want a car note. I never want to have one. I will buy old cars cash, and if I can't afford it cash, I'm not going to buy it. And that's a really strong mindset to have, and I get it. I understand why. I mean, you save a lot of money. These are just depreciating assets at the end of the day. And as hard as it is for me to say that, as much as I love them and as much as I'd love to go spend $80,000 on a vehicle of my choice, I also know that financially they are depreciating assets, and I kind of just got to play my cards right. So if you've made it this far of me ranting, maybe this kind of made you think a little bit, and maybe this is a way that you too could save over $1,000 a month. I mean, over $1,000 a month is a pretty good chunk of change in your pocket every month. You know what I mean? But as always, guys, thanks for checking out the video. Drop a comment below. Talk to me. You don't got to tell me if you don't want to, but if you're comfortable, let me know. Talk to me, guys. Let me know what you got. I mean, are you spending $800, $1,000 a month on a car note? Or did you lease something for like $250 a month? A little like Corolla or something? I mean, talk to me in the comments. You know I like to respond. You know I'm always checking out and liking to get your guys' opinion on things. But that's going to conclude the video. Thanks for checking out. And as always, we will see you guys on the next video. Peace!